It's clear that many of the key players, the principal architects, such as Baker, Lutyens, Bromfield, had different ideas. They weren't a united force at all. They had different ideas about how to go about the work that the Commission had been set. Having said that, what is also clear is that they believed in the work of the Commission and the vision of commemorating in perpetuity all 1.1 million people who died in the First World War. When you think about some of the principal architects, Bromfield, Baker and Lutyens certainly knew each other professionally in their work. Baker and Lutyens in particular had worked together, had been apprenticed assistant architects together at a firm in London in the 1870s. They'd become friends. Baker and Lutyens, they'd gone on holiday together. They'd helped each other with their work. At the time, Lutyens wasn't a particularly good sketcher or drawer, so Baker had helped him do some of his architectural drawings. So they had worked very closely together. Unfortunately, by the time they come to work for the Commission, they'd actually had quite a large falling out, a professional falling out, over the designs and architecture and the work they were doing in New Delhi. So that made a kind of a difficult relationship for them. But in terms of how it affected the Commission, it didn't really affect the work of the Commission or their work within the Commission at all. And I think it goes back to them being aware of the importance of the work they're being set and the goal that was being set for them. So while they might have different opinions about how to approach the work, actually the importance of the work itself meant that they could knuckle down, avoid too much in the way of disagreements and just get on with their job. In some ways it can be seen as a benefit that they're actually competing with each other to produce the best possible work they can do for the Commission. So the Commission is ultimately a beneficiary of their egos, as it were, because they're driven to produce the outstanding work that they do produce. And also for some of them it's a very personal thing as well. If you think of Lutyens, he'd lost 5 nephews in the war, so for him there would have been a personal desire to do the best he could do for the Commission. Lots of the assistant architects, in fact, it was a stated request that the assistant architects should all have served in the war, and we know that they were working on designing and building cemeteries where their comrades, people they knew and had fought alongside, were lying buried. So an amazingly personal thing for many of the staff, and because of that they're driven to do the best they can. And I think the cemeteries and memorials you see around the world now are testimony to how good and how well they approach their job and their task.